No worry.
Okay, okay, sir.
So, okay, it's recording in
Okay,
progress.
sir, got it, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, so what, so you are working in IT?
No, sir, I'm not working in IT, sir. I am in final year, sir, actually. Civil engineering. I'm doing civil engineering. Now I'm in 8th sem, actually, final year. This year I will graduate, sir.
Oh, from which college?
Sir, we have Sambram Institute of Technology, sir. Sambram College.
Okay, 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 okay. Okay. So, how far from Bangalore city you are?
Sir, only 10 kilometers, sir, that's all.
Ah, okay. Okay, okay. Because I used to work in Koramangala long time back.
Yes, sir, sir. I heard, sir, you are working for IIA, Indian Institute of Astrophysics, Bangalore, right,
Correct,
sir?
correct, correct.
NLST, that National Large Solar Telescope project.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I know, sir.
How do you know that?
Sir, because I find out, sir, actually. I find out about it, actually.
Oh, so you are finding a lot.
Yes, sir, sir.
Yeah, I used to work long time back,
Yes,
but
sir.
that National Large Solar Telescope project, I don't know. Still, it was because it was very near to the border. Actually, it was exactly that Pangong border. You know that, correct? Where
Yes, sir,
this
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
army had a problem with Chinese, but that was the reason the government did not. This was a long time, but this was in 2008, around 15 years back, probably.
Yes,
So
sir.
they didn't give us the permission to do that. But it is still pending on. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, I used to work there before. That is before I came to US.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
So,
that
sir, how did you get into astrology, sir? I mean, what motivated you to do study astrology?
astrology was right from my childhood. Actually,
Yes,
actually,
sir.
I had a neighbor who used to do
Yes, sir.
astrology. And
Yes,
I
sir.
was I was interested in planets and all those in astronomy too. So I enjoy used to do calculations and all those things.
Yes,
So
sir.
automatically I used to take that up and then do it on myself, like try to do it
Yes,
without
sir.
just like for fun and all. But later I found
Yes,
that
sir.
okay, I enjoy it. So like that I learned on my own. And then probably I thought, why not make a career out of it? Because I was enjoying all those calculations and all.
Yes,
So then
sir.
I just made a career out of it. And then
Oh, okay, sir.
at the same time, I had that interest of astrology right from my childhood. So
Yes, sir.
it
Yes, sir.
started when I was what, 13, 14 years old at that time, probably.
Yes, sir.
So, so it was probably, yeah, at that time, long time back. It was 97 or 1998. Around that time, 97, I guess. So that time I started, and then it was going on
Yes, sir.
as slowly and steadily. And then astronomy and astrology both were on and off going on. So that's
Yes,
how.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
In history, sir, in history, for a period of time, both astrology and astronomy, they were one and the same, sir.
exactly,
Until scientific revolution occurred in Europe, where it was declared that astrology is a pseudoscience because there was not much evidence in support of astrology. So they considered astronomy as a science because it was materialistic in nature.
yeah,
But
the calculation, see, the calculation part is very
yes, sir,
same.
astronomy. Yes, sir,
Astronomy and
astronomy.
yeah. So all the calculations part, and
Yes,
so
sir.
but it's like always. For example, even if you take science, then you
Yes,
have
sir.
physics separate, you have chemistry separately, you have biology
Yes, sir.
separately. Then even in biology, you have microbiology,
Yes, sir.
zoology,
Zoology. Yes,
botany.
sir.
So like that, it's like even in physics, you have so many condensed matter
Yes, sir.
physics, you have astrophysics,
Different physics. Yes,
nuclear
sir.
physics. Even in astrophysics, then you will have solar system, you have galaxies, you have
Yes,
so
sir.
it
Yes, sir.
becomes narrower and narrower. Same thing, it was probably during that time, it was one and the same. The calculation part and everything was the same. But then after that, after a point, the two paths diverged. And one part
Yes,
went
sir.
into understanding more of planetary positions. The other part went into understanding more of how this gets affected in human life. So that was the branch basically. So the original calculation part is the same. So that's where it was same. So it was, so people took differently on those different paths.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, the roots of the calculations are both. That's why planetary speed, planetary positions, planetary, all those things are
Yes,
one
sir.
and the same. So that's how
Yes,
it was. So nothing surprising. It was only later that the two branches got separated and people from different branches. So it was quite evident that people can switch over to the other branches, but later it was like too distinct, and people made blocks over it. Something I don't know. Of course, when it says that it is not a science, yes, it is not a science because it may be a super science or something like that, because things doesn't work. It's a different principle. Like, for example, 2 plus 2 is 4. Wherever you go, that will be the law. 2 plus 2
Yes,
cannot be
sir.
5, or 2 plus 2 cannot be 3. But here it's a different concept
Yes,
where
sir.
you
Different
have
concept.
to,
Yes.
like, everything is 9 planets and 12 rashis and all those things and all the world things which,
And they even include time and space concept also, sir, in astrology. From what I know.
yeah,
Time and space
exactly,
concept.
exactly. So probably because science works is the principles of science is what it has to be repeatability. You have to get, if you repeat the
Yes,
process,
sir.
the observation or the
Sir, objective
calculation
ideas.
has to be the same.
Yes,
But
sir.
it may not be. For example, if the sun is in this house, for example, it may not be that you will always get this result. It may be like
Yes, sir.
several results, out of that one may fructify.
Yes,
And
sir.
for someone else, there are so many people with sun in Leo, probably, let's say, or moon in Capricorn, let's say. You cannot have just one result. There are so many other results.
Yes, sir.
And then you have to pick up which one is the best, depending upon many various other factors.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's where it is, it becomes, I think, in the coming era of AI, probably artificial intelligence and all, that can be a thing where we could intermingle all those, and then probably, because see, anything which happens, it's just not one planet. There are so many other planets influencing, and
Yes, sir.
then
Those also.
take a result out of it.
Yes, sir.
Probably that may be the case where you could use artificial intelligence and use a large database basically from
Yes,
various
sir.
charts of people, and then make a statistical analysis, and then do that's where more fun is, like collect maybe a million chart,
Yes, sir.
understand the positions and see what has happened to them, and make a statistical analysis of that. So something like that needs to be done.
And sir, you know this author, sir, Percy Seymour. Is it visible, sir?
Ah,
Dr. Percy Seymour.
I have read in your description.
Email.
I don't
Yes, sir.
know him, but after reading I read it. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Actually, he is a British astrophysicist and astronomer, sir. Actually, he
Uh-huh.
was the leading astrophysicist in Britain, sir. Actually, he
Mm.
proposed a theory for astrology, sir, called magnetic theory of astrology.
Okay. Ah.
And because of that, he faced so much ostracization, sir, because he faced so much criticism from his colleagues, actually, because of his stand on astrology.
No, but
Uh,
yeah, you will face criticism. Even I
yeah,
face
yes, sir.
criticism. So
Yes,
it's
sir. Everyone
natural.
faces.
It's
Yes, sir.
naturally that you will face criticism, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
People are going to do that anyway. See, people
Yes,
have
sir.
not, even Rama faced criticism, correct?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
Ram also faced criticism, then who are we? We are bound to face criticism. And that's how I think the world is what, man. The world always will, people have stopped thinking, and if you do something different, the world will always criticize you. That's the nature of the
Yes, sir.
world. It's going to happen. If you do something different from the normal, you will be criticized. So I think accept that and move forward.
Yes,
You know,
sir. Yes, sir.
that's it. Every time, see, whatever you do, you cannot make everyone happy,
Yes, sir.
and people will criticize. It's normal. I think it's normal that people will criticize. Don't you think I may have faced criticism, or anyone who is there in the social media will have played
Yes, sir.
it.
Different.
So it's like, yeah, it's always there, and I don't know why that happens. uh, because people have stopped thinking. It's like, because see, if they say that okay, astrology do not work, ask them the next question, how much they know about astrology. To
Yes,
say
sir.
that
Yes, sir.
something not works or something works, at least they should know something basics, and then they can claim. I don't mind if they say that it doesn't work and all. Have you done anything? Have you done any studies? Have you done any statistical analysis? Have you done something on that? Nothing. Then on what basis I should accept your claim? That no one asks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
People always say that okay, this doesn't work, that doesn't work. You ask the next question, what you know about it. Do you know anything about it? No, they will say that how can, so they will give a simple logical concept saying that okay, there are 8 billion people, and then there are like 12 rashis. So 8 divided by 12, 8 divided by 12 is 0.66 billion. So it's about 660 million people in one rashi. How can they have the same thing? Yes, I understand that they will not have that same thing, but astrology is not just that. Astrology, there has so many things. There are so many it's just not the rashis, it's just so many other planets are there and they are influencing so many things. Then we have Vimshottari, the time concept which you said, Vimshottari Dasha, and I don't know whether you know about all those Vimshottari
Sir,
Dasha.
I've heard, sir. I've heard, sir.
Yeah. So there are so many things, and if you I work that probability, and that probability, if you do all those things, like for example, take your chart, what will be the probability that the same chart and the same dasha will operate in others? The probability of that is much more than the population, one in population of the world. So that means each one is unique. So that's how when people people just think it's 12 rashis and all, but it's not just 12 rashis. For example, if you have let's say what will be the probability that the person will have sun in Leo? Let's say 1:12. What will have the sun in Leo and moon in Capricorn? Let's say 1/12 times 1/12, 1/44. What will be the probability of sun in Leo, moon in Capricorn, and Jupiter in Cancer? 1/12 cube. Then Mars, Sun in Leo, Moon in Capricorn, Jupiter in Cancer, and let's say Mars in Aquarius, 1/12 raised to 4. So like that we have, forget about Rahu, Ketu. Ketu is always opposite, so we do not consider. So there are 8 planets, let's say, 8 graphs, Navagraha we say, but leave apart the Ketu because Ketu is dependent upon Rahu, so it's not like an independent probability for that. So 1/12 raised to 8. So if you take 12 raised to 8 also, and if you calculate, I don't know, 12 raised to 8 will be what number? It will be definitely more than, I just need to check, it will be how much billion, or it's about 696, 981, 429, 429 billion or 430 billion. 430 billion. What is the population of the world?
Population of world nearly 7.7 billion. This is
429 million. Sorry, it's 429 million. Half a billion. Then we have Mahadashas, Antardashas, and all those things. Now, if you take that thing, probability, because there are so much of things, so easily it goes more than the 8 billion population. 8 billion population is the population of the world. So everyone is unique. So people, when they say that, when they claim that, how can everything will be same for the sun is in Leo or moon is in this, if you are like, definitely it is not. It's a simple calculation which people have to do. People don't do this. If they can understand, but people know that, okay, sun is, how can you divide the entire population in 12 parts? That means they have only taken the sun. But what about the moon? What about the planet Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, or maybe Mars or Shukra or Venus or Mercury? If you cannot person, why people don't do it why people can't extend their knowledge? That means they are half knowledge. That's the problem. People are not, somehow the whole system, the whole society is that we are not made to think. But they can think, only one step they could think, that only for one planet, but they can't think beyond. So who feeds them all those things, and why people are not go? Because it's lack of thinking. First of all, how many people can do probability? That is the question to ask.
Yes, sir. And sir, Dr. Percy Seymour, sir, he says that the revolving planets and planetary alignments, they orchestrate solar activity, where weak tidal forces of the planets is amplified by sun's magnetic field. Resonance is said to play a role here. That is point, sir. Point number 1 in favor of astrology, sir. Then, as a result, there is a formation of sunspot on the surface of the sun because of solar activity induced by the planets, where there will be a variation or fluctuation in geomagnetic field, which is known to influence a wide variety of animals. Many organisms, sir, they respond to the changes in geomagnetic fields, sir. For example, migratory birds, sir, they navigate with the help of
geomagnetic field. We know, like for example, electromagnetic spectrum, correct?
Yes, sir. No, I know, sir.
What range to what range? What are the waves in electromagnetic spectrum?
Yes, sir. Infrared waves, ultrasonic waves, it will come, sir. I don't know exactly, sir, but I have studied, sir. Yes, sir, I know.
Yeah. So what light you can see? Visible optical light.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Yes, sir. Because it is infrared basis.
No. Why? I'm not saying it's infrared. You can see visible. Can you see infrared?
No, sir.
Can you see X-rays?
X-rays means actually I'm not very good at that one, sir. But I don't think so, sir. I mean, X-ray means we can medical X-ray, sir.
Yeah, X-rays, medical X-ray. X-rays. Can you see X-rays when you go for a medical? Can you see X-ray light?
No, sir. No, sir. I cannot see the X-ray, sir. Yeah. I
Exactly.
understood, sir.
You cannot see X-rays. You cannot see infrared. You cannot see. Can you see radio right now? Internet is going on in your. That's why you can see me. Correct. Internet is there in your room right now. Radio
Yes,
waves
sir. Yes, sir.
is there in your room right now because internet is again
Yes,
radio.
sir. Yes, sir.
Can you
Correct,
see?
sir. Yes, sir.
Can you see radio waves?
No, sir. No, sir.
So why? So what light you can see? It's only optical light.
Yes, sir.
Why can you only see optical? Why can't you see other light? Why can't you see infrared? Why can't you see radio? Why can't you see X-rays? Why you can only see optical? Because
Yes, sir.
what is the ultimate source of light for us?
Ultimate source of light, sir. Sir, sun, sir. Sun.
Sun, exactly. Sun gives
Sun
what?
and moon, sir.
Moon has got no light of its. Moon basically the
Yes,
sun
sir.
on the moon.
Reflection, sir.
Reflection.
Understood, sir.
Sun has got its own light. Now sun
Yes, sir.
has slot in what? Visible light.
Yes, sir.
We got adapted. Organisms came on Earth, and it was
Yes,
always
sir.
in the sunlight. So
Yes,
we
sir. Pioneer light, sir. I will say.
So we got adapted to that type of light because sun emits lot of visible light. Sun do emits all type of light. Sun also emits X-rays, sun also emits UV, sun also emits
Yes, sir.
infrared, sun also emits radio. But the visible light is dominant and it reaches Earth.
Yes, sir.
See, X-rays and all are cut off because of ozone. UV rays are cut off. X-rays are much cut off at much higher altitude. So that light doesn't reach Earth. It's only the
Yes, sir.
visible light and the radio light that reaches. And out of visible and radio, visible light is as sun emits a lot of visible compared to radio. So we as an organism, when we were born on the earth, when we got adapted to the earth, when we evolved, we got adapted to that
Yes, sir.
light. And that's why
Yes,
we
sir.
can see optical. But if you have some other star, let's say that star emits a lot of infrared, let's say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So maybe that organisms on that planet will be adapted to infrared light.
Yes, sir.
So that's what it is. That's how the sun has influenced us in many ways. The
Yes,
way
sir.
we look, the way we work in what type of wavelength is all basically has come from sun.
Yes, sir.
So definitely sun has played a role like what we are.
Yes, sir.
So
And one study says that geomagnetic field conditions influences the development of fetuses, sir. In an experiment, what they did is they took some fetus of some animals. They blocked it from geomagnetic field of the earth, sir.
okay.
Due to that, the fetus was developed abnormally, sir. From that, they concluded that magnetic field plays a role actually in development of a fetus. So
Yeah.
here it becomes a basis for astrology, sir.
Yeah.
Planets influence the sun. Sun influences the earth. Due to that, we get influenced. So that is the basis for astrology. That is what Dr. Percy Seymour says, sir.
Mm.
He says that magnetism is omnipresent in the universe actually. Our Earth is a giant magnet, and the magnet is used in electronic devices. We know how it is used actually. And recently, scientists have found magnetic particles, particularly in brains, cerebellum, and brainstem, mainly. And
Correct.
cerebellum is known for motor coordination, balance, and equilibrium, sir.
Correct. Yeah.
It acts like a magnetic compass, actually. One scientist, Dr. I don't know what is his name actually. He conducted an experiment actually, where he let human subjects in dark rooms, and he asked them to find the north direction. They were able to find, sir. In second time, what he did, he put a helmet, sir, a magnetic helmet actually to their head, and he asked them to do the same, but they were not able to do so. Which suggested that we have an internal compass in our brain, and that is
See, it makes sense because you know how the MRI system works. Because with the MRI, if you go to MRI
magnetic
scan,
resonance.
magnetic resonance imaging, you're put it into that machine where there's a magnetic field of 3 Tesla or something like that, 3 Tesla, 4 Tesla, 2 Tesla, something of that order. And what happens is because your body is made up of water, water is H2O, and there's a lot of hydrogen, basically H2, two molecules of hydrogen. So that gets aligned because of the magnetic field, the polarization and all those things, magnetic polarity and all those things. And that's how they use it. So there is a lot of, what are we made up of? Atoms. So what are the atoms made up of? A lot of electrons and protons. And if you put them in an magnetic field, it will orient into some direction. And that's how that's the principle they use for MRI. So there is some internal magnetic field in our own system, actually.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's why even not only in us, like with the migratory birds, you see, they flow from one continent to the other for migration
John
purposes and
Connington.
all. They say that there's some inbuilt magnetic thing inside their body which can help them
Yes,
to
sir.
the direction and all. Otherwise, how they will fly from one continent to the other?
Yes, sir. And they also have cryptochromes, sir, cryptochromes in their eyes, due to which they are able to detect light, sir, properly and
Mm-hmm.
navigate with the help of it.
Navigate.
And they navigate with the help of stars, sir, actually, migratory birds from
Oh,
whatever. And even honeybees also, sir, they follow the sun actually. Sun,
okay.
sir, for direction thing.
So that is something which, see, these are the things which is now coming up. So probably in the coming days we may be exploring a lot and trying to understand this, how we don't know so many things. I think the fact to understand that, first fact is that we don't know many things, to understand that, and then to only when we accept that we are going to learn new things. But if we say that we have learned everything, then there is nothing to learn. Right?
Yes, sir.
So that's how it is. But yeah, good. I think probably in the coming days, coming years, we'll be targeting all those things and probably learning a lot more about how all this functions. So that's what
Yes, sir.
I expect. I don't know what's going to
Yes,
happen.
sir.
This is what my expectation is.
Sir, I think it has already started, sir. Have you heard of Frank Cougar Beats, sir? Frank Cougar Beats, a Netherlands-based researcher, sir.
Ah,
He was in news actually recently for predicting Turkey earthquakes on February 6th. Actually, he's active on Twitter, sir, and he's the founder of Solar System Geometry Survey, sir, SSGEOS.
oh,
And he has developed one software, sir, his company, Soul Page, where they are able to predict earthquakes, sir, with the help of
oh, yeah.
planetary alignments, actually.
Actually, that
And
was one of my topic to do about understand what are the planetary alignments for the earthquakes and all.
yes,
Actually, I
sir.
was interested in that, but never did that project because there's so many things to do. There is absolutely no time. Actually, astrology and all this comes for me as like a co-curricular. Apart
Yes,
from
sir.
just for my interest, I do. It's not my main thing.
Yes,
So,
sir.
but had an interest like to take all the data of earthquakes and then combine with the planetary positions of that day of at that time, and what is the
Yes, sir.
lagna, what is the ascendant, what is the planetary combinations on that, and then try to understand those. And some correlation to find out. That would be interesting to see that. So that's
Yes,
what I was trying to do that actually.
yes, sir. And this idea, sir, that solar, I mean, planets are responsible for the sunspot activity, and sunspot activity is responsible for earthquake, was first suggested by John Rudolph Wolff, sir, a Swiss astronomer in
Mhm.
1852. You know that sunspot number, no, sir, sunspot number. He was the
Correct.
one who proposed it. Yes, sir.
Maybe because
Maybe.
I don't know, sunspot when it is maximum, there's a high magnetic field. The
Yes, sir,
magnetic
yes, sir.
field of the sun is
Yes, sir. Solar maximum, this, yes, sir. Yes,
solar
sir.
maxima, correct? So magnetic field of the sun is also very high. Maybe that has got something to do with the earthquakes. I don't know about it, but
Yes,
prob-
sir. They say
possible.
the Earth's magnetic field, it will go rise up, sir, due to solar maximum. Whenever there is solar maximum, they say,
Yeah,
sir.
I understand the Earth's magnetic field getting affected because of that, but what is the role of Earth's magnetic field with the earthquake? That's what I want to know.
Sir.
That the relation.
Actually, according to geological experts, sir, they say before any major earthquake, there will be some fluctuations, atmospheric fluctuations, or fluctuations in ionosphere, sir. And that is electromagnetic fluctuations, they say, sir. Japanese researcher, sir, one fellow, Dr. Masashi Ayakawa, he has done a study on that, sir, actually.
Ah,
Dr. Masashi Ayakawa.
okay, okay. How are you interested in all this? Like, what made you to get interested in all
Yes, sir.
this?
Actually, how it started means it was year 2015, sir. Actually, it was predicted that I will get injured. I will meet with an accident where my right leg will get injured, sir. 2015, I was facing Saturn retrograde, sir. Not Sade Sati, sir. Not
Ah,
7 year Saturn retrograde, 1 year Saturn retrograde. So
correct.
as it happened, I met with an accident actually, but it was not that severe, sir. I got a sprain in my right leg, sir,
Ah,
and that was one of my interest, which made me believe, which made me curious, sir, about astrology.
ah.
And second was I came across this book, sir, called Sun Signs by Linda Goodman.
Linda
Linda
Goodman.
Goodman.
Ah, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Sun Signs. It was very interesting, sir. I read that book, sir, out of curiosity, and it was very accurate, sir, about my description about my sun sign, sir. So it made me more and more inclined towards astrology, sir. I became more and more curious, sir, to see if there is any truth behind that, sir, scientific truth behind astrology, or is it some, as the media claims, sir, it is
Which
full of
year you are
nonsense.
born? Which year you are born?
Yes, sir.
Which year you are born?
Which year, sir? 1999, sir. 1999.
Oh, 1999. Okay.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow only my birthday, sir. Tomorrow means, yeah, today only, sir. May 20th.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Then,
sir.
okay, May 20th, 1999. Okay, okay. So probably you have Jupiter, Saturn. Maybe Jupiter will be in Jupiter is in Pisces for you or what?
Sir, yes, sir. Jupiter is in Pisces, sir. Yes, sir. You are correct, sir.
Saturn will be in Aries, correct?
Yes,
Or
sir. Correct,
or
sir. Correct, sir.
Pisces? Aries or
Not
Pisces?
Pisces. Yes, sir. Sir, you are correct, sir. You are right, sir.
Correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Saturn Mercury conjunction is in Mercury conjunction in first house, sir, and yes, sir, Jupiter in 12th house, sir. Actually, Jupiter in fourth house, Pisces, Saturn Mercury in Aries, fifth house. Yes, sir.
Okay. So you are basically you're saying that you are Sagittarius Lagna?
Ah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Dhanur Lagna, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Makes
And
sense.
one more incident, sir. In 2017, it was predicted my father will also face accidents, sir, to where his right leg will get injured, sir, due to Saturn retrograde. Not sorry, sir, again.
Ah,
He met with an accident. It was very severe accident, sir. From there, I started gaining so much interest in astrology, sir. I felt this cannot be a coincidence, actually. There must be some pattern is there. So there must be something behind the astrology. So I developed interest in astrology. I started finding articles, everything, sir, on in internet, whatever I could find related to
that
astrology. I
makes sense
started
because
studying it.
you said Saturn and Moon is in fifth house. So Saturn is basically civil engineering and all those things comes up for Saturn actually. And fifth house
Yes, sir, the structures. Yes, sir,
is
you're right. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
fifth house is for learning. Fifth house is also
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
fifth house is learning. I will say that there are many houses of learning. Second house is also learning. Fourth house is also learning. Fifth house is also learning. Ninth house is also learning. 12th house is also learning.
Yes, sir, yes,
But
sir.
second house is learning for school, primary school.
Yes, sir.
And the fourth house I will put as learning for secondary school.
Yes,
Fifth
sir.
house I will say learning till first year, second year, third year. After 12th till graduation is your fifth house.
Yes, sir. Also creativity, yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Creativity also, yeah.
Yes, sir.
And then I will say ninth house is for PhD.
Higher
Definitely ninth house
education.
is for PhD. I can
Yes,
say.
sir, yes, sir. Okay.
Ninth house is for higher education and all. And 12th house is also a learning, but it's aparavidya. It's like
Yes,
uh,
sir. It
beyond
is about hospital and all, sir. Yes, sir.
hospitals, meditation, spirituality, and all those
It's
things. Which is
enlightenment, yes, sir. Spirituality, yes, sir.
but PhD is definitely ninth house. I know
Yes,
PhD
sir. Right.
masters can I don't know masters falls in fifth or ninth. I don't know, but somewhere there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's my fifth. Then right now you are doing when you are doing undergraduation and all that makes sense because Saturn will come into picture. That's why you also said the civil engineering. And I don't know
Yes,
what
sir.
about where is your Mars?
Yes, sir.
Ma-
Mars, sir. My Mars.
yeah,
Mars is in Libra, sir. Libra. That is, I think so.
seventh house, 11th house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So 11th house means it directly aspects your fifth house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's why, because I know that Mars Saturn has to be connected. Because if you're civil, Mars and Saturn has to be connection because Mars is also
Yes,
Bhumi
sir.
Karaka.
Yes, sir.
That's why I wanted to ask because I want to see whether Mars and Saturn is connected. And that's where you have Saturn in the fifth, Mars in the seventh aspecting.
Yes,
And that's
sir.
clear sign of anything with related to Earth,
Yes, sir.
earthy material, construction,
Yes, sir.
engineering. Mars Saturn is engineering. So makes sense why you are into that. See, that's clear. If you have
Yes, sir.
got me the chart like anyone and we say, oh, this is an engineering guy. Engineering guy, especially with something like construction or maybe
Yes, sir.
with related to Earth.
Yes,
Earth.
sir.
So that's clear. And then you have Moon also. I don't know. Moon flavor also puts there. I don't know how Moon is putting, maybe adding its own flavor there, which I
Sir,
don't.
moon is for mental, sir. Mental, yes, sir.
Hmm. Okay. So
Mental
that's
connection.
so see, it's clear. That's how it works. It's beautifully it works. So always, it's
Yes, sir.
fun to study that and try to see how it is.
Yes, sir. Sir,
And
if I can I ask, where are you from, sir? Actually, you are from India, from which part, sir?
I was born and brought up in Bombay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
I was born and brought up in Mumbai, but my mother tongue is Telugu.
Oh, Telugu. Okay, sir. Okay.
So, but I was born, brought up, I did everything. My education and all was in Bombay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bombay. You did in Mumbai University, right, sir? Yes, sir.
Mumbai University.
Yes, sir.
Then I moved to Bangalore.
Yes, sir.
After,
Okay.
after Mumbai, I moved to Bangalore. Then I was working at IIA. I also used to go to RRI and as well as IISc, Tata Institute and all.
Yes, sir. Tata Institute.
So that I spent 3 years. I was in, of course, I was in that NLST project. Then finally, I was doing a short time. I did a PhD, but at the same time, I got PhD in US. Then I came here.
Yes, sir.
I finished my PhD and all, and
Sir,
then,
University of Toledo. Yes, sir.
huh? Nah, no, it
University
was
of Toledo. Yes, sir.
Toledo, University of Toledo, Ohio,
Yes, sir.
and probably then it was internship I did at Caltech and all those things also I did.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then probably I joined as at University of Texas at San Antonio. I was doing a postdoc. Then I started to teach. Life went on, and still I'm teaching. So I still do research. I still do a lot. Now I'm basically doing a lot of things with JWST.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
And you know, the radio engineer, sir, John Henry Nelson. John Henry Nelson in 1951, sir. Have you heard of him, sir? Actually,
I don't know. I'm
John
not.
Henry. Actually, he is a discovery, sir. Actually, he discovered that sunspots actually the disruption in solar magnetic fields are caused disruption in propagation of radio waves, sir,
Hmm.
for communication purpose. And is sir, he discovered that actually solar, sorry, planetary movements orchestrated solar activities, sir, actually. Due to that, there was a formation of sunspot activity, and due to that, there was a disruption in this one, sir, radio communications, actually. And this and whatever angles he observed, sir, actually, planetary angles, sir, it seemed to coincide with astrological aspects, sir. So, for example, opposition 180 degree, pinnacles 150 degree, trine
Ah,
120 degree, and square 90 degree, sextile 60 degree, semi-sextile 30 degrees, actually. Some of these astrological aspects have advantage positions, sir. Some of them have bad position, actually, in the birth chart especially.
oh, okay. Okay.
1951, actually.
Oh, okay.
Sir,
That's
before
nice.
the advent of communications, right, sir, our communication was dependent on Earth, sir, actually. I mean, ionosphere. If you have a stable ionosphere, you can communicate properly. If the
Correct.
ionosphere is disrupting,
Correct.
then it can
Yes.
never communicate properly. There will be no clarity, sir.
To
But
clarify.
after communication satellite came, all this earthly burden was taken by communication satellites, sir.
Correct. 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 Yes. Yes. And that can that do make sense because if when it disturbs all those ionosphere and all those things, then definitely there will be disturbance in that. So I get that point.
That is due to solar wind, sir. Solar wind.
Polar wind. Yes, exactly.
1.4 kilometer per hour, it will be traveling distance, sir, actually.
Not 1.4 kilometer, it is 700 kilometer per second.
Sir, 1.4 million kilometer per second.
Okay,
I
okay,
mean,
okay, okay. Yeah, that can be. Yeah, 700
uh,
times 3,600 you have to do. Yeah,
sir,
700 kilometers
light
is
speed is
in 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, those things are there definitely interesting. Yeah, yeah. That's why I saw how I came to. Of course, you have written to me, and I completely forgot about the book and all. It's so busy, you know.
Yes, sir, sir.
Right now, it's basically
Sir.
teaching. I have to do teaching. I have to do research. I have to do astrology as one by side thing. Then I have to consult
Yes, sir.
students and all. Then plus home things and all I have to look into. Plus college things. It becomes too much, you know.
Yes, sir.
So, but yeah, but there are. I think we do need such people. Where people can see the connection between those and try to understand them.
Yes, sir.
That will be, I think, in the coming days, uh, people should learn more and should do experiment on their own and try to see what it is not.
Yes, sir.
It's like that. So great. And I don't know, what is your aim finally?
Yes, sir. Actually, I want to study astronomy, sir. I don't know. I'm thinking actually. I want to do this, sir. Actually, I'm interested in that. Actually.
But then, yeah, I think Ayuka do take civil engineering students. They do take for astronomy.
Yes,
but
sir.
but then you have to see what you can do. See, actually we need a lot of the engineers to build instruments and all, so
Yes, sir.
probably engineers
Instrumental. Yes,
uh,
sir.
So, I think engineers play a lot of important role in making those
Yes,
instruments.
sir.
So that is definitely an asset. So try to look into that and then see what you can do.
Yes, sir. And you know, Dr. Jane Bizarre, sir, NASA scientist, Dr. Jane Bizarre, even she also discovered that evidence for heliocentric planetary conjunctions, oppositions, and certain 90-degree alignments, sir, giving rise to violent solar disturbances.
Okay.
Dr. Jane Bizarre of NASA.
Okay.
In 1967, she had written one report actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would like to see all those and then try to see what all they have done. And see, they say that they have done it, but I also would like to see what is their
Yes, sir.
report.
Result.
Yeah, results, report with all the data, and then try to see,
Yes, sir.
But because I can say I have done this, I have done that. I can say anything, but I would like to see on what basis they are saying that. I would like to see what data they have. And then because data is required, correct? Otherwise, what you can also say something, I can also say something, everyone can say something. But I want to see the data. Okay, we have taken this data. This is what it is. This is what the planetary alignment was during that time, and that's what we conclude. So I have to see that whole thing, and then you conclude anything. So that's what I would like to see. But if they have something, please let me know about it. Where data is there. Without data, it doesn't make any sense to then talk
Yes,
about it.
sir.
Okay, but if you have something with data, tell me. Then it will be nice to take a look into it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But if she says that, she may have data, but we would like to get the access of the data and try to see how she concludes that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Other than that, what else?
Yes, sir. Then you had talked about earthquake, no, sir. You're interested in studying earthquakes, sir, especially the astronomical phenomenon behind the cause of earthquake. You're interested, sir, in
Yeah, the planetary positions and earthquake.
yes,
Maybe
sir.
you can take that project, study the major planetary
Yes, sir.
positions and take the earthquake dates, main earthquakes date when it happened on Earth, especially tsunami, 2004 tsunami, something like very, very, very major, like 20 major earthquakes, let's say, all over the world, and then study their planetary alignments.
One Japanese seismologist, sir, Dr. Satoshi Ide, he and his colleagues, sir, they studied the earthquakes in Japan, Chile, and Japan, California, and the rest of the world, sir. Three major earthquakes.
Ah.
What they saw was moon, actually, sir. Sun, moon, and earth, when they are in alignment, actually. During the time, the earthquake happens, sir, actually, sometimes.
They
Because
say
of
that.
tidal
They say
exhibited
that
by sun
in
and moon, sir.
Amavasya, when their alignment means it has to be Amavasya or it has to be a Purnima.
Yes, sir. Amavasya Purnima, yes, sir. That is what they say, sir. Full moon day or yes, sir. That is what he
But we
stated.
want the data. See, right now, that can be okay. They can take the earthquake dates when there was Purnima and Amavasya, but we have to take all major, like we have to give a criteria above 6 magnitude earthquakes.
Yes, sir.
Then
Yes, sir.
what fraction of that has to go? Because there can be earthquakes, some earthquakes will happen at Purnima or Amavasya, and then we can just
Yes,
take
sir.
those dates and then we can say, oh, this happens on the alignment, then that doesn't true because there are some other earthquakes which are happening at when they were not aligned. What is the probability that they were not aligned? If it is 80% or 20%, then we have to discuss. See, always you cannot say that this is 100% true. There will
Yes,
be
sir.
like, okay, planetary alignments, sun, moon, and earth have been in an alignment, and then the earthquakes happen with an 80% probability, or with a 90% probability, with a 95% probability, or with a 60% probability. Numbers has to be given, no, for data quantification.
Yes, sir. And you know Jim Birkeland, sir, Jim Birkeland, U.S. geologist. He had also controversially claimed that he was able to predict earthquakes with the help of position of moon, sir, actually. And he was
Oh,
suspended from his job actually in 1989 because of scaremongering. The public,
there
sir.
was something in Turkey also. Turkey earthquake happened last year. I think there
Yes,
was.
sir. February 6th, sir, Turkey earthquake. Yes, sir.
So someone was saying that they have predicted something
Yes,
like
sir.
that.
Flying cougar beats. Flying
So,
cougar beats, sir. Is
so maybe we need to take a database. Why don't you get it like a database of earthquakes, main earthquake? Can you do
yes, sir.
that?
His website, he releases the data, sir, statistics actually.
Yeah, maybe do something and let me know about it, Abhinav.
Yes, sir.
Can you do that?
Sir, actually, I had written this one, sir, a report actually regarding that. I can send you, sir, via email, sir, actually, if you want,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can look into it, sir, actually.
Yeah, but with data and then this studies and all. Okay.
Yes, sir, data, okay, no, I have not collected the data, sir, but I have the references, sir, references from where I collected those information, sir. It may be useful for you, sir. You will be interested, sir. I will send you, sir, if you want. Okay.
But yeah, if we have the dates and all, then we can make the planetary alignments. Like we can have the
Sir.
software. I don't know if you have any software. Do you work with
No,
some
I
astros? There is some.
and quartz, sir, quartz is a mineral, sir. They say if you compress quartz, electric pulse is generated.
Do
And
you have
that is,
data? Do you have data for? Do you have astrology data software and all?
no, sir, I don't have, sir.
You should
And
download Jagannath Hora. Jagannath Hora is a free software.
yes, sir.
You can download that and play with it, and it will be nice. You will really like it because it's all that software playing, and
Yes,
you will be enjoying it.
yes, sir.
Yeah, so try to do that.
Yes, sir. One study, sir, if you compress quartz, sir, electromagnetic pulse is generated. That effect is called the piezoelectric effect. They say, sir.
Yeah.
One scientist, a group of scientists, they said they proposed a reverse piezoelectric hypothesis. What they say is, no, quartz is one of the minerals, sir, which is found abundantly on the surface of Earth, sir. So during major earthquake, what happens due to sunspot activities, solar wind, what it happens, it can trigger earthquake, they say, sir. It can compress the quartz due to their speed, actually, the solar wind, proton speed. Due
Correct.
to that, electric pulse could be generated, and wherever the crack is happening, sir, it's called tectonic plates in geology, sir. Tectonic plates. The cracks, wherever it is happening, rupture, it can cause electromagnetic pulse to be generated. Due to
Oh.
that, triggering earthquakes, they say. But their hypothesis was not accepted, sir, because of lack of empirical evidence. But another group of scientists, they took interest in this hypothesis, sir. So what they did, SOHO, they say, one satellite, actually, solar observatory.
I know. Yeah.
SOHO. They took that satellite and they started studying the solar proton densities are coming to the Earth, actually hitting the Earth. And based on that, they try to correlate if there is any correlation between high proton, solar wind, and major earthquakes, sir. And they found positive results, sir, actually. I have that in my report, sir, actually. I can send you, sir.
Okay.
I mentioned it, sir. Okay,
sir.
Then one Russian researcher, Alexander Safronov, sir, he says when planet different planets are in alignment, actually, the gravitational waves or the gravitational force, it can get amplified. Due to that, which can cause earthquakes. And recently, one geophysicist, Annie Ormsby, some names are actually, she has suggested not convection current. Convection current means no core is there, sir. Core above that mantle, and above that crust is there, sir. Core, it will be inner core and outer core will be there, sir. Outer core is semi-liquid, sir. So heat will be, the temperature will be very high. Due to that, liquid molten this convection current is generated, sir. So the mantle, it is called magma, sir. When it is underground, when it comes out, it is called lava. Due to that, the liquid magma, it will be rotating, sir. Due to that, heat will be generated. So due to that, tectonic plates move. That is what they say, sir. Tectonic plate theory, as proposed by German meteorologist, sir, Alfred Wegener. What she says is not due to heat, actually. It is due to the barycenter of sun moon, the force. Due to that, the earthquake can cause, not due to heat. Such heat is not, it is not capable of moving the rocks, they say, sir, according to their study. One geophysicist, Annie or some names are.
Okay. Makes sense. Barycenter position and all do matters. Yeah, of course. Okay, that's nice. The barycenter of moon and earth is basically the barycenter of moon and earth is inside the earth. If you see. Actually, you can calculate those. That's I give a problem to my students here. Calculate the center of the earth and the moon system, and you will see that because earth is so much dense and so much heavy than compared to moon, that the barycenter of earth and moon lies within the earth. But yeah, awesome, great, man, great, good. Yeah, let us see what we could do, and then probably that will be nice to go through.
And one person is there, sir. Have you heard of him? Dr. Jagdish Maheshwari, sir. NCGR director, actually. National Geocosmic Research Director, sir. Have you heard of him? I don't know, sir. He's also into research in earthquakes, sir. Correlation between earthquakes and astronomical phenomena. He's also into it, sir. Dr. Jagdish Maheshwari. His name. He is a chemical engineer actually by background, but he is interested in astrology and he likes to research about earthquakes, occurrence of earthquake and the astrological position of planets.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Maybe I will take a look into that then. Just send me that name and then I will like to take
Yes,
it.
sir. And one more mathematician is there, sir, Finnish mathematician. He was a former president of a Finnish Astrological Association, sir. His name is Dr. Koisti Tarvainen. Koisti Tarvainen.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What he
He
did?
has done so much statistical research, sir, in astrology, related to astrology, sir.
Oh, yeah, then it will be nice to see because always you need statistics, to
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
yeah.
He's a mathematician, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
And have you heard of Michel Gauquelin, sir? Michel Gauquelin, French astrological researcher.
No.
No. And sir, he is one of the famous astrological researchers, sir, actually. He's a French, actually. He had collected so many data from different people, sir, of different professions, and tried to see if there is any astrological influence in different people. For example, for sports persons, they say Mars should be in very good position because
Correct.
Mars is very violent activity and all, actually.
Correct.
Sports and all competition.
Oh, that
Also,
will be nice. What is his name? You said?
Michel Gauquelin, sir. Michel Gauquelin. Michel space Gauquelin, sir. Michel Gauquelin.
Spell it again. Type it.
Yes, sir. In chat, I will type, sir. One minute.
So that's another research area I would like to study.
Michel Gauquelin, sir.
Okay.
Then one more research, sir. Wait, sir. Sir, Dr. Koisti Tarvainen, Finnish mathematician. He is also one of the researchers, astrological researchers.
Oh, use the. Because I also am interested to see like take a chart of maybe million or at least 10,000 people or 1,000 people and see what job and what is their planetary alignment. Oh, they have a Gauquelin has got a mass effect something as a
Yes,
Wikipedia.
sir. Mars effect. He is known for that, sir. Yes, sir. But later, one organization, sir, CSICOP actually, it is an organization which claims to debunk anything, like, for example, paranormal phenomenon, astrological phenomenon, occult phenomenon, or anything pseudoscience related, sir. It's a one organization, sir, in France. They said the Mars effect does not have any validity. Actually, it is not true. But later they retracted their claims, sir, saying that they had purposefully doctored the results, sir. Actually, I mean replication result of Michel Gauquelin, sir. Actually, it is mentioned in books, sir. Actually, Dr. Percy Seymour, he had mentioned it in one of his books, sir. Actually, on astrology.
Oh, really? Okay. Maybe, yeah. I will study about those things.
Yes, sir. And even this book is a good, sir. Actually, this one, The Birth of Christ, Exploding the Myth. It is also a very good book, sir. It is about the history, sir. History, archaeology, astronomy, related books, sir. Very interesting book, actually. In this, actually, one chapter is there, sir. It's a page number 176, sir, written in the stars, actually, where Dr. Percy Seymour he has proposed the mechanism, sir, for astrology, how astrology could work. I don't know if it is visible for you, sir.
Okay.
Here he has written 12 points, sir, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to read it then probably sometimes.
Sir, this book is very good, sir, actually. You will be interested, sir. The Birth of Christ, Exploding the Myth.
Okay, I will try to read it. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good. Thanks for sharing those. Maybe I will take a look into those, try to see
Yes,
what.
sir, and one more book is also there, sir, actually, not related to astronomy or astrology exactly, but it is also good, sir, actually. are called meteorites, sir. Meteorites.
Who
By
is this?
Tim Gregory, sir, British geologist. It is also very good, actually.
Okay.
He talks about meteorites, sir, actually, meteorites.
What he talks in that?
About meteorites, sir, actually, different types of meteorites and how they made our history of our world, how stones from outer space made our world, sir, about that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Great, sir. Good.
Yes, sir.
It's 1 hour probably. But
Yes,
we
sir.
will talk sometimes
Okay,
later.
sir.
And let's see what we could do. I need to digest all this. But
Yes, sir.
but it was nice meeting with you and talking to you, Abhinav.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You
It was
also
nice
try to
meeting you
do
also, sir. Yes, sir.
you also try to do on your own some research and see some things
Yes,
which
sir. Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
apart from that, of course, do your
Yes,
work
sir.
or do your studies, give importance to that. But apart from
Yes,
that,
sir.
it's
Yes, sir.
always and be inquisitive, be always asking questions, and
Yes, sir.
people in a society will always say something.
Yes, sir.
They just say because they have to say it. That's all. But
Yes,
we
sir.
need substantial evidences, and I'll always give some statistical numbers, not just okay, if this happens, then this happens. This happens, yes, this happens, but with what percentage, what statistical significance you can give? Like
Yes,
that,
sir.
we need a quantification of those things. And somehow, if you could do something by computer or artificial intelligence, why not?
Yes, sir.
Because nowadays, chat GPT and all those things are there.
Yes, sir. ChatGPT, yes, sir.
There are so many artificial intelligence. Why can't we use those? Maybe give 1,000 charts and let the computer decides what to do. Maybe something like that, programming and something could be done.
Yes, sir.
So that would be awesome to see.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, great. But thank you for sharing all that information, Abhinav.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is my pleasure, sir. Yes, sir.
My pleasure to meet you, sir.
It was nice to meet you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you. And you have a relax and you have a birthday, great birthday today, man.
Yes,
It's your
sir. Thank you,
birthday.
sir.
Enjoy your
Thank you, sir.
birthday. What plans for today?
Nothing planned, sir, actually. Exactly.
Yeah, you should plan something.
Should be.
Enjoy your birthday today.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Take care. Okay.
sir. Okay.
And yeah, send me something if you have. You know my email ID now. So
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
sorry, I'm keeping you awake. I know it's too late at your place.
It's okay, sir. Okay.
It's already 12:30, correct? More than 12:30 now.
Yes,
So
sir. Okay. Yes.
sorry to keep you awake,
No,
but
it's okay, sir. For you,
uh,
it is morning, no, sir. USA.
for me it's afternoon here, 2 p.m. now.
Oh, okay.
PM now, afternoon 2. So anyways, it was great meeting with you, and then probably I would like to hear from you more in the coming days.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do analysis, statistical analysis always.
Yes,
Data
sir.
is a chart. We want data, just not the conclusion. How you
Yes,
conclude
sir.
that. That's what we would like to see.
Yes, sir. Based on data, theory is made, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Great. Good.
Okay, sir.
See you. And let me know if you have anything.
Okay, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you. See you,
Yes,
Abhinav.
sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir.